Hi, Joachim Schlöffel, InnerSpace Explorers. I've been asked a couple of times if I can say something about Goodman handles, rigid ones versus soft ones. Obviously, I said a couple of times in videos that we prefer the rigid ones, and people ask why we do that. Well, first of all, the Goodman handle, here's ISE Alien Light with a rigid one, and here is a no-name soft one, no idea what it is, just found it in the basement. So the idea of the Goodman handle was that I can have the light on my hand and I can still use the hand to work with a spool or whatever, grab something. And that is probably also the reason why people came up with the soft ones, because depending on how you set this up, it can slide off. This is obviously sized so I can use it with my dry gloves, and if I use it in warm water with no gloves or with very thin cut-off gloves, I open the screws here and make it a bit smaller so it sits more snug on the hand. So, but that obviously is why people came up with a solution like this. So now the light stays on the hand all the time. But that also has a couple of issues. So first of all, if it is too loose, for example, because it is not really adjustable, it really tends to slide off when you cannot really grab it. Because if I grab that, it starts doing this, because the connection between that soft handle and the light is not really good. Whilst with this one, nothing happens, because if I have the rigid handle, I also have the light. The next thing is that when we, for example, in cave diving, when the light signal is kind of critical, you don't want somebody behind you in a cave or in a dark spot that's constantly working with this light, because it always is like an attention signal, so you're constantly like, what's on? So you want your light to be really, really stable. That's kind of passive communication. I'm diving there, I see my light, I see the light of my partner or my partners, and they all move more or less in the same pattern. And unless I see one of the lights doing this, I know everything's okay, so I can focus on my dive and I do not have to all couple of seconds, minutes, whatever, are you okay? It's not necessarily, unless I see the light moving in a normal pattern, everything's good. So that means if I have to do something with my left hand, what I do is I do this. Oops. Yeah, anyway. If I do something with my left hand, I do this. I can watch my SPG or a deflate or whatever I want to do. The light doesn't move. So I do something with my gear, or I do something with my left hand, but I do not alert my buddies that, hey, I have an issue, which I don't have. So the same thing with this handle. I can probably take it off like this, but I normally cannot get in like this again. So that now means I have to start getting this back, which normally gives a light signal. And that's one of the main reasons why we don't want it. The other thing is that depending on how it is fixed on the light, you have kind of a loose connection. So this can always slide out. Here the bolt snap now holds it on these bungees. But again, it creates a problem, whilst this is a rigid solution. It's not going to fall off. So also when I clip it off and I bump into something, it's not going to fall apart. Whilst with this one, I've seen multiple lights that have been lost or have been damaged, or then the bungee rips off or whatever, and then when you need it, you can't use it. So that was a short one. I hope it explains the question. If you have more questions, please feel free to ask. Please be aware that all the discussions in detail about these videos go on the Patreon site. So if you want to check that out, there's a link in the end of the video. Otherwise, thanks for watching. If you like it, give us a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed to the channel, please do so. And I'll see you next Friday. Thank you very much.